We have all heard of the group of people who are known by the label of responsible dog owners. If it was up to this mysterious group, we would have nothing to complain about. All conflict between humans and dogs would disappear. There would be no more biting, no more killing, no more barking, no more unpleasantness of any kind. Imagine a world without these things, and with no dog-transmitted diseases, no dog smell, no dog invasion of personal space, no dog humping, no destruction of property, no theft of food, no attacks on animals, no Lyme disease. We would live in harmony with Canis lupus familiaris, to give it its Sunday name. If all dog owners could become responsible dog owners, the rest of us could discard our prejudices and see dogs for what they truly are. We could all rejoice in the wonder, love, and unity that dogs under the stewardship of responsible dog owners would bring. If all dog owners could convert to being responsible dog owners, then we could all move forward into the bright future of a dog-human utopia of love, loyalty, and laughter. Does this sound too good to be true? It is. Dog apologists and enablers really painted themselves into a corner when they embarked on the strategy of the blameless mutt. No matter what happened, it wasn't the dog's fault. The dog that killed the 2-month-old infant was provoked by its victim. The dog that stole your food did so because you didn't guard or protect your food adequately. The dog that attacked you and knocked you off your bicycle did so because you came up behind it and startled it. Whatever happens, it will never be the dog's fault. We are all familiar with this type of thinking, and I have given numerous examples in my earlier videos. For example, dogs and disfigurements. Why do we tolerate this? Or when pit bull advocates attack. This argument of the blameless dog has all the sophistication of the defense that a big boy did it and ran away. The blameless mutt defense is limited and primitive and carries the likelihood that people will think you have got to be joking. A development of the blameless mutt defense is that the owner is to blame. We are all familiar with the motto, "Don't blame the dog, blame the owner." It does not even need to be the current owner. If there is no evidence to suggest that the current owner is to blame, then blame it on some unidentified and unspecified owner in the past. This is typical of a kind of reverse scientific thinking, in which the conclusion is reached first. In this case, that dogs are blameless and owners are at fault. Then there is a search for anything that might support that already established conclusion. The scientific method operates by establishing evidence, and the reaching of a conclusion is based on evidence. Once dog apologists and enablers accept that there is no such thing as a bad dog, they have to then recognize that any dog-based antisocial behavior must come from some outside influence. The first 2 steps are victim blaming, then owner blaming. The third step in this crude confidence trick is the presence of the responsible owner. Since dogs are pure and blameless, then victims and irresponsible owners are the problem, while responsible dog owners are the solution. Who are these people? How do we identify them? We are told again and again that they exist. Some people actually claim to be them or to be allied to them. They are referred to in protests against breed-specific legislation when legislators need to be convinced that pit bulls are gentle, lovable, slightly goofy characters that only need responsible owners to bring out their good sides. They are referred to in attempts to overturn leash laws or take control of public parks, or excuse and justify the death by dog of an infant. The word responsible suggests someone who is in charge of things under most circumstances and is aware of the consequences of their actions. The word inspires confidence and trust. When we hear or read the phrase, we think that such a person is trustworthy and can be relied upon to act safely. The phrase responsible dog owner is a manipulative invention, a metaphor, a motif, or a trope that can mean many things and is designed to influence our ways of thinking. It is also a contradiction. Someone can be a responsible person, and they can be a dog owner, but they can never be a responsible dog owner. These three words do not belong together. Anyone who buys a genetically modified, dangerous, and unpredictable, predatory, scavenging carnivore for their own pleasure, imprisons it in their home, and controls every aspect of its life, cannot be described as responsible. Ownership of a dog is irresponsible to the dog, to other animals and humans that the dog may attack, and to the environment that the dog will pollute. This is not responsible behavior. My attempts to clarify the meaning of responsible dog owner led me to a variety of dog-related sites that listed the characteristics of a responsible dog owner. Most of them lean heavily in the direction of dog care, in the sense of looking after the welfare of the dog. This is like saying you are a responsible driver if you maintain the engine and bodywork of your vehicle. The concept of responsibility to society and to keeping humans safe was pretty much limited to vague reminders to train your dog. For example, the American Kennel Club lists 75 ways to be a responsible owner. I'll put the link in the description. It's not until we get to number 72 in the list that we get any mention of the problems dogs create for society. Number 72, quote, respect your neighbors. Not everyone will love your dog as much as you do. Keep your dog on your property. Don't force your dog's company on a neighbor who isn't comfortable with dogs. End quote. No mention of not allowing your dog to kill someone. No one is going to be comfortable with a dog biting them. This is followed by item 73, which is, quote, fight anti-dog legislation. Be a voice against legislation directed against specific breeds. For more information, contact the Government Relations and Public Education Departments of the American Kennel Club. End quote. Make sure your neighbors are safe, but fight against any legislation that might make that a possibility. Because the definition of a responsible dog owner is so vague, it is open to many interpretations and can be used to suit a variety of purposes. The concept of the responsible dog owner is a multi-purpose invention. At the beginning of this video, I argued that the absence of responsible dog owners acts as justification for dangerous and troublesome dog behavior. The claim is that if a dog behaves badly, it is doing so because it has not had the benefits of responsible dog ownership throughout its life. There is the double benefit of allowing the current owner to avoid blame. The current owner of a dangerous, antisocial dog can claim to be a responsible dog owner and lay the blame on some previous, unknown, irresponsible owner who caused the aggression in the dog. There is no way of proving or disproving such a claim. There is no such thing as a responsible dog owner, so an appeal to the better nature of dog owners is pointless and is no solution to the dog problem. The myth of the responsible dog owner prevents meaningful change in dog ownership patterns, dog behavior, and dog-related legislation. It is often a disguised appeal for dog owners to police themselves and their dogs. The thinking usually is, If you go easy on the legislation and the prohibition, then dog owners will behave responsibly and obey the rules. What goes along with this is the claim that irresponsible dog owners represent a tiny minority of outcasts. The term responsible dog owner is used as a benchmark of conformity and good citizenship against which irresponsible dog owners can be measured. It doesn't work that way, as most of us know from personal experience. One benefit of using the word responsible is that it can easily be confused with or associated with the word reasonable. Dog apologists will often link the two concepts together, particularly when they make appeals for both sides to be reasonable, as if there is some middle ground. What they mean by reasonable is that we back down on our complaints, criticisms, and regulations and give them free rein. Most dog owners do not respond to reason as far as their dogs are concerned. In a master's degree dissertation by Bob Holderness Rodham entitled The Effects of Domestic Dogs, Canis Familiaris, as a disturbance agent on the natural environment, he has the following to say about reasoning with dog owners. Quote, personal observation indicates that many people walking dogs off-leash in leash-only areas will hurriedly put them on a leash if someone approaches, and then let them off leash once they have passed. End quote. Many of us have seen such examples where being responsible has its limitations. There is no such thing as a responsible dog owner, but the concept helps to maintain the status quo of dog owner tyranny and of dog-based territorial expansion. The only solution to the dog-based problems we have to bear is a future that is dog-free.